Hello, y'all. I'm Diana Brienne, and it is Saturday around, I think it's 2:42. It's almost 3 o'clock. I never know when I'm going to come on. I have been on here just about every day. Hey, Sayo Banhan Colonies, welcome, welcome, my friend. How are you doing today? I'm not sure how many will show up because, well, I don't let anyone know that I'm coming on. And it's not because I don't want to let anybody know what time I'm coming on. It's just that I don't know what time I'm coming on. Hey, my friend Robbie. Hey, you have the best lives. You and Gina have two of the best lives out there, my friend. How are you doing, Robbie? I hope you're having a great weekend. I'm doing, I did a video when I came back from my 5 mile run today, and it was called Find Where You Fit In. Find where you fit in life. And, I think everybody feels out of place in some situations. And I think that, so I did this video, but I haven't put it up yet because it needs to be edited. And welcome, Ariel. Welcome, my friend. Been dealing with, oh my gosh, Robbie. Oh my gosh. How did you get house flooding? Is it because of the weather? And did your pipes break? Or what happened? You know, I've known people that their house is flooded. And actually, believe it or not, our kitchen, we have all hardwood floors throughout our whole house. And frozen pipes, yep. And it will do it. It will do it. You know, if you look in the background here, we have hardwood floors, and we had to have some of them replaced because our dishwasher somehow the nozzle came undone and it flooded the kitchen. And so, the wood had warped, and so we had to have it replaced. Oh, I hope, Robbie, that it all gets fixed real soon. I hope it didn't do a lot of damage. You know, when you have a house, things happen. It's just part of the nature of having a house. And, we have a big house. And my husband, he tries to convince me into downsizing, and I try to convince him into upsizing. So we've met in the middle. We're staying here. And yet, when you have a big house, there's a lot to it. Good, Robbie, good. I'm glad there's not too much damage. You just have to get a mop and a bucket and some soap and water and clean it up, right? It's easy for me to laugh, right? Right. Welcome, Ariel, again. It says, my pipes did not burst due to the horrible cold weather in my apartment that share with my roommate. Well, that's good, Ariel. I'm so glad. Robbie, you do have to be careful though. If your carpets got wet, they really have got to be really, really dried because you don't want to get mold underneath that. And mold is really challenging once you get it. So you don't want to get any kind of mold. So make sure that your carpets are really dry. And what you might want to do is get some space heaters and put the space heaters where the rugs are until they're dried. And that's what we've done in the past. That's what we've done. And so I was thinking today, so I did the video called Find Where You Fit In. And it was really funny because last night I was on, the carpet man came out and pulled the carpet up to clean it. Good. Robbie, that's the best way to do it. Have a professional come in to do it. Because sometimes when we do it, if we're not a professional, we're not going to do it right. And then it's going to end up costing us more money in the long run. So you made a smart decision. You made a really, really smart decision. And so I was just kind of, going from different live streams last night and, saying hello to everybody. And one thing I discovered is that the people that go into different live streams, they find where they fit in. And like one of them they were playing, well, a couple of them were playing games. They were playing games, not virtual reality games, but just games. And it was wonderful, absolutely wonderful. Oh, welcome, Peace. I'll give you a blue jacket. And so it was really wonderful to see, and everybody found their niche and they found where they fit in. And so when you go in life and you feel like you're out of place and you don't fit in somewhere, just you're not in the right place, because you will fit in. You have to find the right friends, the right people, people who will embrace and love you and care about you. And because we don't fit in everywhere. I don't fit in everywhere. I remember there were some people that I knew a long time ago, and they were smokers and drinkers, and I didn't do either. And I really didn't fit in. I tried to fit in. I didn't try to smoke or drink, but I tried to fit in, and it didn't work. It didn't work. I had to go find people like me that didn't smoke and didn't drink. And, then I had to find people, that just, you want to be embraced. You want to be embraced by the people. So never feel that you're an outcast in life. Know that you just, and sometimes you have to create that place. You have to create a place so people like yourself can come to. And that's, I think, what we all do here on YouTube. We create a safe haven where people can come and feel comfortable. 10K before end of the year. Please support me, guys, and share me out. Thank you, Peace. We will do that. We will absolutely do that. You will make your 10K. 10K, I remember when I made 10K, and I thought, because every time I crossed over the 1,000 mark, they purged me. And I thought, gosh, when I hit 10K, they're going to really purge me big time. They didn't purge me big time until I hit 12K. When I hit 12K, they purged me and purged me and purged me. It was like it was endless for about 5 months. It really was. Peace says, I do cooking and funny challenges. Wow, that's wonderful. See, every channel, here on YouTube, find where you belong, find where you fit in, find where you're comfortable. Like, I'm really, I like to go to everybody's channels, and I kind of feel like I get something from everybody's channels. I really do, and I really enjoy it. Mary says, hi, Diana and everyone. I am on the road. I had to leave my home. Neighbor's car alarm keeps going off. So just letting you know I was here. Thank you, Mary. Thank you so much, my friend. I'm so appreciative of your taking the time out to come stop by and say hello. Thank you so much. Well, I thought I would come on right now before it got too much later, because my husband's going to come home. Long story short, it's cold here, but sunny. This morning I went out and I did my 5-mile run in about 30-something degree weather. Okay, but it was sunny. It was nice. And it didn't really feel like 30-some degree weather. Well, my husband is a golfer, and so he went golfing. He had a golf tournament today. So he went golfing. And Robbie says, cold here too. It's cold here, Robbie, but probably not as cold as where you're at. And so he went golfing and in a tournament. And so when that tournament's done, then he'll come back home and we'll probably go out to dinner. My youngest son, who's 21, went over to my daughter's, and she lives right down about 4 miles away. So he's spending the weekend there. He likes to go over. They play games and board games and things like that. And then my oldest son is convalescing with his leg. He cut his tendon or hurt his tendon, and he had to have surgery on it. So he's in a cast. So I'm kind of nursing him and taking care of him. So when my husband and I go out to dinner, we'll bring him back something good to eat. And because I don't feel like cooking tonight. I really don't. I just want to kind of enjoy. Peace is asking where you all live. I think Robbie lives in Colorado, and I'm not sure where everybody else lives. I live in Georgia. Well, I live between Georgia and one state up from Georgia, because we have a home in both places, and we're getting ready we're in the process of renovating our beach home. Welcome, Jahang DXB. Welcome, welcome. I'll give you a blue wrench. So, I think basically, the cold weather is really keeping a lot of us back from doing the things that we want to do, because I did not run for 2 days. And, you know, I don't miss running. I don't mind running in cold weather, but it was wet and cold. And I don't like wet and cold. So I didn't run, but I still get my exercise in every day, you know, one way or the other. I do. So, but I wanted to come on. I thought, well, my husband's going to come home, and then probably my daughter and my son, my other son, will probably stop over and see what's for dinner, even though I'm not cooking tonight. And they'll probably want to go out with us for dinner. But my husband and I, we usually go out about once a week together. It's kind of our time, just, you know, to be one-on-one and talk, you know, talk whatever we want to talk about. But we are getting ready to renovate. We are in the process of renovating our beach house. And so long story short, it takes a lot of work when you renovate a house. And we have like a big deck that goes off the house, and it needs to be redone. And we raised our children when they were babies on it's an island, but it's connected by a bridge to the mainland. And so our house is right on the beach, and it's really, really wonderful. And I have great memories there. So we've decided that's our new adventure, is to go between our home here and our beach house. And that way we can include our family in our adventures. Whereas if we, you know, we want to buy another motorhome and start traveling again. And we'll probably do that. But it's unlikely that our kids will travel with us. And so we want to have something that includes them. And so going back to the beach house will include them as well. But I'm looking forward to traveling again, you know, getting in the motorhome and traveling across country and doing all those fun things. And then coming home. I love my home. Grandma's porch. Wouldn't want to leave Grandma's porch for too long, you know. So how is everyone doing? How are you all doing? I know that there's a lot of lives on right now besides mine. And I know that a lot of people are out and about. But I come on whether one person comes on or whether 100 or 200, 300, it doesn't matter to me. I come on anyhow. And it's kind of like, you know, when you come on real time, what's nice about real time is that you can actually talk back and forth with each other. And I like that. I really like that. Whereas when I do the recordings, it's sort of like a delayed conversation, which is wonderful. Did another video today, and I'll put it up too, called Bottled Conversations. You know, I've got 3,500 videos up here on YouTube, 3,500. Okay. And, or 3,492 it says, but I've actually got probably about 5,000, a bunch of them I didn't release and along the way, but I've got 3,500 about every subject. And I got to thinking, you know, that's my legacy for my kids. So all these conversations about all these different subjects, you know, would have been lost. I mean, I've got them down on notes, but it's not the same as having them on video. So I have all of these videos with all these different conversations. And I started doing home videos back in the 1980s. So I've been videotaping for about 40 years. And how I videotaped home videos, I had the old VHS tape video player, you know, that when you were on the back, and it was like $2,000 for my first camera. And it had the big battery pack, and it had the 6-hour VHS tape in it. Later, I converted all those tapes over to DVD. But it was absolutely wonderful, you know, to have those kinds of memories and conversations and bits and pieces of so many events in my life. And I just videotaped every day. All the people that were in my life, and many of them are passed on now, but it's absolutely wonderful. So I did the video called Bottled Conversations. Bottle your conversations, bottle your wisdom, bottle your memories, you know, because often you're going to forget them. And when they're on videotape, you go, wow, I forgot that. And the only way you would have really remembered in detail was through that video. And so my life has been on video for about 40 years. And I love it. I love it. I love going back and looking at all the different hairstyles and how young I was then. You know, I have all my family and relatives, and many of them have passed on. My mom, my dad, my sister, my brother, all of them, you know, all of them are on video, and all the other people, you know. And then later when I started to do my wisdom videos, I have all of those. The last 11 years are on video, DVDs. And it's wonderful, absolutely wonderful. And so make sure you're recording, even if it's just for yourself. What I love about YouTube is that even after I'm long gone, my kids can go to my YouTube channel and just say, okay, what would mom say? And they can pick a conversation. They can pick a wisdom topic, you know. And if they want to see the family, they go to the family videos that we have. You know, everything is backed up on DVD. Everything that we have is completely backed up. And so you just, you know, I am just a big DVD recorded person. And it's wonderful. I used to put the tripod up next to the table where we ate. And I would videotape our family eating dinner. You know, how cool was that when our kids were little? Welcome, welcome, AZ Mark. Thank you, Mark. Oh, thank you, She Digs. Oh, my goodness. She's so wonderful. Thank you, thank you. Thank you, my friend. Thank you. AJ Mark, let me see. I lost your comment there. Let me find it. Thank you, Arizona Mark or AZ Mark. Mark, you know what? You know what? YouTube has made it where we're not getting notifications. So I don't even know how you found me. And, you know, because we all get lost in there and they don't give us notifications. And if you don't remember the person's name, you're never going to see them again because there's so many channels, you know. And I mean, they've unsubscribed me to friends that I normally would go to. And so I, you know, one of the things I did was create 4 channels because a lot of people won't remember my name, but they'll remember Grandma. And so now I have Grandma's Porch with Diana Brianne Fairchild, Grandma's House with Diana Brianne Fairchild, Grandma's Adventures with Diana Brianne Fairchild. So people are more apt to remember a visual than a name. And so they remember Grandma. So they could put that in. They might remember my first name, and likely I will pop up somewhere. So that's kind of why I did that. She Digs said, I need my daily dose of Diana Brianne wisdom. Thank you. Thank you, She Digs. Thank you so much, my friend. You know, we all have gifts, and we all have the gift of wisdom. It's just some people don't tap into it. Some people tap into their other gifts. And like, you know, we all really have the gift of playing the piano, although I can't play the piano. But it's somewhere in us that we have that gift. It's just that environment and other aspects of our lives will pull a gift out of us. And so my gift got pulled out of me very, very early on when I was probably about 6 years old. You know, I'd been writing down notes ever since. And I have journals and journals and journals of notes. But what you all get is all fresh stuff every day. Every day. It's whatever just came to mind. You know, and I never know what's going to come to mind. I mean, I'll push the button on the camera not knowing what I'm even going to say some of the time. And then I just start talking. And it just kind of comes out. It flows. And so that's, you know, that's my gift. And I share. I don't give suggestions. I don't give advice. I just share with you my opinions on different issues and how I deal with them or how I think I would deal with them. Sometimes I tell stories about other people's lives, you know, but I don't give names or information about who the person is. Or sometimes I'll tell them about my life, you know. I think that it's okay for your life to be an open book, but I think a person needs to be discreet in how they do it, especially when it involves other people. You know, you want to be discreet and you want to be careful because not all other people want their lives talked about. So, you know, my family doesn't really like being on the videos. And so sometimes they'll be in them, my husband or my kids, but my husband especially doesn't like being on them. And he likes to watch them, but he doesn't like to be in the videos. And so everybody's different. You know, I'm the one that gets on camera. So I hope, though, that my kids, they all have YouTube channels. And I hope at some point they begin to create their own style and do their own thing with their channels. So, She Digs, how are you doing today? I hope you're staying warm wherever you're at over there. I think you're in England, right? I believe you're in England. So, yeah. So, you know, coming on live is very different than doing recordeds. Recordeds, you know, you can edit it or, you know exactly what you're going to say or whatever. But when you do a live stream, you're coming on here and you're winging it, you know, and especially when you come on by yourself, sometimes you don't even know, you know, you're giving people blue wrenches and you're answering questions or you're making sure to say hello to everyone. And it feels like you're all over the place. And I think that's why a lot of people do not do live streams. But for me, I come on. It doesn't matter. I enjoy being here, whether one person shows up or whether 500 show up. I've had the whole gamut. I think my lowest number that I ever had on a live stream was maybe 40. And the highest was about 1,000. So, you know, you can't predict it. And you come on here because you enjoy it. You want to be on here. And I don't promote anything. I don't sell anything. Maybe I should, but I don't. And so I just come on for fun and to connect. And, you know, I've met so many amazing friends and amazing people. You know, just because we have not met in person doesn't mean that we're not amazing friends. You know, you can make amazing friends online and get to know them even better than some of your in-person friends. You really, really can. So, yeah, I know that there are a lot right now who are doing live streams because right before I came on, I looked up and I went, oh my gosh, there was like 25 live streams going on right as I went to push my button to come on. And I don't think anybody's home to watch them. Unless they're in a different time zone, I think. Maybe so. But yeah, so I think today my husband and I'll go out to dinner. My kids will stop over. And my house is usually pretty busy. And of course, I do my college work. I do my exercise. Welcome, Ellie Lee. Welcome, my beautiful friend. Thank you for coming. So, you know, I love to clean and I love to organize. And I'm a little bit neurotic when it comes to like my windows. They have to be shiny and I do them myself. And I just love everything neat and organized. And so if I have time, like I sometimes put my studies to the side and then I just go start cleaning and organizing. I've always enjoyed that. You know, growing up, I used to enjoy ironing clothes. Ironing. It was kind of therapeutic to me. I don't know why, but I enjoyed it. And growing up, everyone had an ironing board, or as we called it, an ironing board. We kind of had a twang in there, ironing board. We used to say words like, growing up, we say words like tar for tire, far for fire. She Digs, I thought I gave you a blue wrench, my friend. Let me give you a blue wrench. I am so sorry. Let me get my glasses on. I don't know why I didn't give you a blue wrench. Let me see. I'm in Norway. I am struggling a bit with the weather and the lack of sun, taking my vitamin D and the rest of good stuff. It is hard to live in a country where the elements are trying to freeze you. Well, you know what, She Digs? Norway is the most gorgeous country. It really is. And my husband and I have talked about going there to visit. And when we lived in Europe for 5 years, we did not get to Norway, but we would love to go to Norway. But you know what? I'm a sun person. I've lived in Palm Springs. I live in the South. And if we get an inch of snow, no one drives here. At least I don't. My husband does, because he's originally from New England. And we met when I was living in California, and his plane broke down. And he came and he whisked me away to marry me 30 years ago. 30 years ago. And yes, Ellie Lee, it is a beautiful day here, but it's cold. And I did do my 5-mile run in the cold, but it is beautiful. It is beautiful out. So I don't mind going out running in the cold as long as it's beautiful. I just don't like wet. If it's wet and cold, I don't like it. I don't mind it if it's wet and warm. I don't mind running in it, but I don't like wet and cold. And, my son, he was fishing, and this is a few months back, and he tripped on a tree root, and that's how he hurt his tendon and had to have surgery on it. And so I'm very, very cognizant, especially at my age. I'm very cognizant when I'm out running. I tend to look down. I look ahead, but I also look down to make sure there's no tree roots or anything, because I have flown through the air before, and it wasn't pretty. It wasn't. But Norway, it's a beautiful country, and maybe she digs. You could every year, once a year, you could fly when it gets really cold, fly to the Bahamas. I was watching a YouTube video last night, and someone got a plane ticket for $70 to the Bahamas. And they went to, I think it was St. Croix. I mean, it's so beautiful, so beautiful. So my husband and I, we want to start our new adventures, because our kids are grown. Two live at home. My son has been driving back and forth for college, but I think in the fall he says he wants to actually stay in the dormitories and try it. So we'll see. But right now I have my 2 boys at home, and my daughter is right down the street. And so I don't like to go real far. Arizona, Mark, what happened? I thought I made you blue as well, my friend. And JB, welcome. I don't know why some of you are not turning blue. Okay. Hey, JB, it must be cold up there too for you in Boston. See, I'm here in the South, and it's cold. It's cold here. So, and then about a month ago, in the midst of all this cold, we have 2 huge, I don't know what you call them, heaters. They're not heaters. What do you call them? They sit outside and they heat the whole house. One is for the upstairs and one is for the downstairs. Well, the downstairs one here went out. And so they had to bring a new part. Welcome, Robert Mack. Thank you, Robert Mack. Here's your blue wrench, my friend. And so they brought out, thank you, Robert Mack. Yeah, central heating. That's what we've got. Thank you, my friend, She Digs. Thank you so much. If we come to Norway, I will be sure to look you up. Okay. So we broke this our central heating was broken. So we had them come out. They had to put this real expensive, it was like $3,000 to put a part into it, a compressor. And they put it in and it didn't work. It was defective. So we had to wait another week for a new compressor. They came out, brought the new compressor, and now it works. It works great. It works great. But we were cold down here. We had the little space heaters and all of that. You're right, She Digs. You're right. I love to travel, and I love to see new places. And, when we lived in Europe, we had a little white BMW convertible, and we had a pickup truck, a green pickup truck. And we traveled all over. I remember we traveled down to Rome, and we got to Rome at night, and we couldn't find a hotel, so we decided to sleep in the back of our pickup truck. And it had a cap on the back, so it was locked in the back. And we were on, no, Robert, I'm in Georgia, and one state up. And yeah, I used to live in Texas, though. I did, Robert. I did. I lived down in Central Texas, and I also had lived in Houston. I loved Houston. And that was back in the J.R. Ewing days, back in the Dallas days. And back when let's see, I moved down there in 79, and then I went back to California. And then I moved back there in the mid 80s. In the late 70s, my mom was living there, and it was amazing. Then they went belly up with the real estate market. And by the mid 80s, I mean, big homes had the doors off of them. I mean, it was really something. Now, of course, it made the turnaround. It's doing fantastic. And Robert says, it's very important, Diana, to change the filters. I change mine in my house at least once a month, and I never have issues. Absolutely. Absolutely. Especially when you have anyone with a breathing problem, I think it's really, really important to change your filters. I do. And so, yeah, we change our filters. We change them real regularly. She digs. I still sometimes will watch the old reruns. I don't watch TV nowadays, except for maybe the Me Channel, which is like 1950s and 60s TV shows. I really don't watch anything current because I don't like what's out there. And I think comedy is not comedy. It's more like satire. And I don't know. It's just the TV programs today. They're not the same. They're not the same. So I really don't watch anything. Oh, you did, Robert. Wow. Now, that must have been in California, right, Robert? Because I think she was from California, if I remember. Tennessee Tactical, welcome. Yeah, I don't watch it. I don't watch TV at all. We do have cable and rabbit ears. So we have cable. We have all the channels. Because my husband likes to watch the sports, but I don't watch anything. I don't watch news. I get my news off the internet selectively, but I just quit watching. But Dallas, I love the TV show Dallas. And actually I worked on, because I did a lot of small parts when I lived in LA. I did a lot of small TV parts, just very small, a blip on the screen. But one of the ones I did was on the show of Dallas. And it was done, if I remember, it was done, I think, was it MGM Studios? No, it wasn't MGM. I can't remember the name of the studio now, but I remember going there, and there was the house, and there was the dining room, and it was all a sound stage. It wasn't real. Now, they have a real house in Texas. And there was a real house that they did the outdoor location filming, but they also had an indoor location, and that was in California, where most of the indoor scenes were filmed. Yes, because you went to Hollywood High, Robert, right? Yeah, Dynasty was very big. I was not real big into Dynasty. I was more into Dallas. I love Dallas. Hey, lovely child of God, my friend. Welcome. Let me give you a blue wrench. There you go. Let's grow together. Absolutely. Make sure you open up a separate tab so that you can play a video while you're on here, because otherwise the person loses you the next day. I mean, I probably pick up maybe 100 a day, and I can range anywhere from 30 to 50 to 20 to 5 that I keep, so because people don't always watch enough of the video in order to for you to get credit to keep the person as a friend. Robert says, back in the late 70s, Erin on Happy Days, she came to a few of my parties. She lived in Burbank, and she kind of visited once in a while. Yep. Didn't she pass on? I think she passed on. And I have the 9 seasons of the Waltons. I've watched the 9 seasons of Little House on the Prairie. My family has. I've watched 9 seasons of Touched by an Angel, which I love that show. And I have them all on DVD. And now we're watching the 9 seasons of the Waltons. Now I have to tell you, when I watch it, it's not quite the same as when I watched it in the 70s, because I actually worked at the Burbank Studios, and I think it was at Burbank Studios, and the house was actually the outside of the house was on a lot there, and I think they used it for a lot of different shows, but that was the Waltons' house, and it was on the Burbank lot. So was Gilligan's Island. So was Gilligan's Island. It was, all shot on the lot there. Lovely child of God, how are you doing? I hope you're having a great weekend. I love the weekend because during the week I am so busy with my college work. And I'm doing fantastic in all my classes. I'm making all high A's. I think my lowest, let's see, I've got 5 classes. They're all hard classes. And out of the 5 classes, 4 of my classes, I've got one I've got 104 in, I've got a 98% in one, a 99 in another, and I think a 96 in another. But the 5th class is struggling. I've got an A in it, but it's a low A. And then that's the one with math. It's so hard. And right now we're doing inequalities, and oh my gosh, I have no clue. I have no clue. The program they're using is not a good program, is what the problem is, because I can learn things pretty fast, but the program they're using is not a good one. Robert says, I've been back on the way back in the east side of the Warner Brothers. They have that lake back there that they shot Gilligan's Island. I've been back there. It's interesting. It was Warner Brothers. And I think that's where Dallas was, on that lot. I couldn't remember because there's all the different studios there. There's MGM, there's Burbank. There was the old Gower studio. There was a lot of the different studios there, but I couldn't remember. Or was that on Universal, Robert? I can't, it's just been so long ago for me. But I do love the Waltons, and I love to watch the Waltons. So right now, I play the Waltons kind of like in the background. When we're all home, I play it in the background. Maybe we'll watch a little bit of it. Maybe we won't, but it's in the background. I just like it. It's a very comforting show, a very good show. And I loved Touched by an Angel. And we've watched Touched by an Angel since my kids were little. They grew up on Touched by an Angel because I had all the DVDs. My kids got really good TV shows. And even with the cartoons, they used to watch the Trinity Broadcasting Network cartoons on Saturday morning with Davy and Goliath. Remember Davy and Goliath? Davy and Goliath was around when I was little. So, but I loved all those, those good TV shows. Good TV shows. I don't know if they make any like that now, like Little House on the Prairie, or just the really good TV shows like they used to make. Have you been in the museum in the Warner Brothers lot, Diana? They got the Batmobile in there and a few other cars. It's kind of hidden. It's very interesting. Robert, I might have been. I forget. If it's not on video, I forget. I may have been. I remember just, being on so many different studios, and a lot of studios did location. And like Love Boat, I was really surprised that Love Boat was, I can't even remember, it was down on, I think, Hollywood Boulevard or Santa Monica Boulevard, where they did Love Boat. This is Lucas Life. Welcome, my friend. Thank you for coming. Thank you. Yeah, I think when I remember, because I had a bit part on Love Boat, it was just a bit part. And Love Boat was done in it was like just a nondescript building. It wasn't on a regular lot, if I remember. It wasn't on a regular lot. And I think it was on Santa Monica Boulevard, if I remember correctly. And what I found so fascinating, like the plank that they came down on or went up on, to the ship, that was just a soundstage. I mean, like you walked off the plank and there you were by the director's chair. Tennessee Tactical says, me and my grandmother watched Dallas together. I think Dallas brought a lot of people together. I think it really gives us warm feelings. I mean, I remember sitting with my mom down in Texas watching it, and it was so neat. I have all those good feelings, from watching the show. Robert, I will have to go watch it. Can I YouTube it? Is it still on YouTube? Detroit 9000. Are you still acting now at all, Robert? Are you still doing that? Yeah, Robert, that's probably exactly where it was, because I don't remember the name of it. It would have been like a private studio. And then I was on another one. I can't remember. It was oh my gosh, it was a TV show in the early 80s, and it was like not even in LA. It was like over in the Santa Monica area, and they had it, like you're saying, like at a private studio. It was more like just like a factory building inside. I used to drive all around to find these different places, that I was going to go to work. So, I worked pretty steady back then, just small parts. I worked pretty steady. It was a long time ago. I had a lot of fun. It was in my early 20s, and it was just a lot of fun. I worked real steady, and I met a lot of interesting people, and and I had some pretty interesting jobs while I lived in LA. But I got tired of LA, and I decided I wanted to move on. So I left LA and I moved to Palm Springs, and I lived out there for quite a few years, and then I moved to Newport Beach. So it was kind of like I was all over the place. Welcome, Guna Sports Entertainment. Welcome, welcome. I'll give you a blue wrench. I hope you're doing well today. And yeah, so those were my LA days. And, I have a lot of stories, some I'll tell, some I won't, but they're all good, like I said, I don't kiss and tell from that far back, especially. See Los Eats, welcome, welcome. I'll give you a blue wrench there. Let me give you a blue wrench. Okay, there you go. I'll have to look for you, Robert. I will have to look for you. I remember I went out and they cut my part, unfortunately. And the only part that I'm in there is in the very opening scene. I'm in a movie, and it was can't even believe I did this movie. It was with Linda Blair, and it was called what was it called? Change Heat. And it was actually done in a prison. It was done in an old abandoned prison somewhere in LA. And I remember being in that movie. And so my part got cut because I think at the time there was Sybil Danning was in the movie. And my scene was sort of around her. And I guess my look detracted from her look because we were both blonde. And so I ended up not being in the movie, but I was in. If you look at the very beginning, the very opening of the movie, you'll see me standing in the jail cell, and that's all I did in that because they cut everything else out. See, Los Eats says, "Come visit my mansion." Absolutely, absolutely. And I do hope you're all connecting with each other, because it's really great when you can connect with each other. And you never know what new friends you're going to make. You never know. I will say that I have seen a lot of channels dry up. I am not seeing the amount of channels that I did before that came on and people can make friends, really easy. You just don't see them now. It's sort of like they've dried up. And compared to the amount that they had before. And so I come on. It gives everybody an opportunity to meet each other. Now, I'm not on every day. I've been on every day, but I'm not always on. Bernadette Vlog, welcome, welcome, my friend. I'm going to give you a blue wrench. So I've been on every day this week. So I will not be on Mondays. Mondays I'm not on because that's my heavy duty college day. That's the day I do all my college work, about 14 hours worth of college work. So I won't be on Monday. Okay. Mondays I don't do at this time. And my times vary. They really vary. Robert, I don't think it was an actual prison. It was a prison that was closed down. It wasn't a police station, I don't think, because it seemed like a pretty big prison, and it was like an abandoned prison. I mean, it was cold, it was nasty in there. It wasn't a nice place to be in there, and I'm trying to remember. I knew how I ended up with that part is I knew people that backed the movie. I knew a lot of people at that time, and I ended up in that movie. But it was a low budget movie. That was not a high budget movie. That was a low budget movie. That particular one, that was a low budget. I think at the time it was like $1 million to make the movie. And that was a lot of money back then. That was like what, early, mid 80s, I think, mid 80s. Georgia, Bernadette, Georgia, USA, Georgia. Although I have lived all over. I have really lived all over. And we've traveled the world. My husband and I lived in Europe for 5 years, and I did really, really love that. I really did. And we want to go back and visit. So, yeah. Well, everyone, I just wanted to come on and say hello. Thank you, Bernadette. Thank you so much. I wanted to come on and say hello. And I do try to pop on. I don't know if I'll be on tomorrow. I might just take that as a day of rest. We'll see. Maybe I will. Maybe I won't. That's why I don't like to have a set time, because if I have a set time, then people rely on me to be there at that set time. And I'm not always, because I have a family and we do things together, it's really difficult for me to make a set time. I never know what we're doing. Oh, wow, Bernadette. I've been to Italy. I loved Italy. We traveled all over Italy. I loved Rome. I had a lot of fun in Rome, Milan, Florence, Venice. I loved Venice. I really loved Venice. And Pisa. Pisa was beautiful. I remember eating dinner in Pisa. We went to the Leaning Tower of Pisa, and then we went out to dinner. It was wonderful. Wow, Robert, you've had quite a journey, quite an experience. Mine was just for a few years. I did not, I kind of burnt out, and I just kind of decided to leave LA. But it was wonderful at the time. I had a great time. I was young. When you're young and you're full of life, and I was 22, and I was a young nurse. I worked at Cedars-Sinai Medical Center, and I worked on the VIP floor there. And I had a doctor boyfriend. He was a young guy. He was like 3 years older than me, and I was 22. He was just a, what do they call it? Intern, I guess, at the time. He became a big doctor, big surgeon later. But, and then I dated a lot of people, and I was single. So I was young, single, and then I got TV parts and things like that, but they were small. They were nothing, to write home about. But whenever my friends saw me, they would, oh, they were so excited. I was on TV. It's like it was some big deal to them. And then I just moved away. I moved away from LA. I have friends that are still there. They've been there for, 40 years, and they're still there. So, but I wanted to come on, and I just wanted to thank you, my friend Bernadette. Thank you. Yeah, when you grow up in that environment, Robert, you see people that are unknown that become superstars. You do, and that's what the cool thing is about your life, is that you've been able to journey through the whole thing, and it's really cool. It really is. Yes, yes, Robert. I was there for 6 years. I was there, and it was an amazing, amazing place to work. And I made amazing contacts at the time because of my job. That was really what launched me into the other areas of work. And it was wonderful. It was a wonderful job, a wonderful time of my life. It really was. But then all of this has been a wonderful time of my life. Every season is different. My time living in Europe was different than it is now, and I love where I'm at now. I'm in a different phase of life, but all the different phases, they were all wonderful. Enjoy your journey. Enjoy your journey. It goes really, really fast. I think about it, and I'm 63, and, living in LA, and Robert and I are talking 40 years ago for me. And yet it seems like yesterday. Seems like yesterday. Thank you, Bernadette. Thank you. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Thank you. And I love when people share me out. I love when people give me a thumbs up. Here lately, I have not had any thumbs down, which I'm really surprised, because I had a few trolls about 6 months ago, 8 months ago. I had a few trolls, and they came from another channel that I would go over and do the panels on. And so they would troll that channel, then they would come over to mine and troll mine. And then I blocked them, but they would still come on. They could still do the thumbs down. So, they gave my one friend like 70 thumbs down. I don't know how they did it, but they must have had a lot of channels or something, but they gave 70 thumbs down. But I love getting thumbs up. Well, I wish you all a wonderful weekend. Thank you for coming to say hello to me. Thank you for coming to visit. And I just hope you have a wonderful, wonderful weekend. I do. And I'm going to go do my little things before my husband comes home. I do have some schoolwork to do. I want to paint a little bit. I'm an artist. And and then I want to spend time with my family. So I hope you enjoy whatever it is that you do. And thank you again for coming. May God bless you, and just enjoy your life. Enjoy every day. Okay. So thank you, thank you, thank you. I'm going to go now. And that's right, Bernadette. You are so right. You are so right. Thank you, Ellie Lee. Thank you so much. Thank you all. Thank you, Robert Mack. Thank you, She Diggs. Oh, my goodness. Thank you, my friend. Thank you. Thank you all. I appreciate you all. Okay. So how do we do it? How do we do it? I always stand up. Oh, by the way, when you see me get up and down, it's because I pick up my glasses and put them back, because one day they fell and broke. And so now I make sure I set them kind of away where I'm not going to bump into them. So that's why I get up and down, up and down. So from my house to your house, to wherever you're at, may God bless you. And I hope to talk to you soon again. Bye-bye.